Hello, New Wave of British Heavy Metal.com here. Today it's all about Airforce and their recently released released album. Came out just a few days ago, and it's entitled Acts of Madness. Before I tell you about it, a little tiny favour if I can ask of you, please, and that's if you wouldn't mind subscribing to the channel. Big help if you would, so please hit the button if you don't mind. As I said, this is all about Airforce and their new one, Acts of Madness. We all know, don't we, that Airforce have their origins all the way back in the good old original New Wave of British Heavy Metal days around the mid-1980s. And they formed when former Iron Maiden drummer Doug Sampson was introduced by Steve Harris to guitarist Chop Pittman. So we've got all sorts of strong Nawabam connections as well. And whilst Airforce didn't go anywhere particularly back then, they did reform, around about 15 years ago, I think it was. And they've shown since that they are well on the pace and have released some fine stuff. Amongst others, their previous album entitled Strike Hard. But now, here we are in March 2025, and we've got the follow-up to Strike Hard, which is called Acts of Madness. The founding trio of Sampson, Chop and Tony Hatton are still out here, as is current vocalist Lino, who's, got a very, very fine voice indeed. Throughout this album, Chop flicks out the cutting riffs, the big chords, the well-paced yet economical yet effective lead breaks, effortlessly at will. Tony Hatton and Doug Sampson, extremely effective, providing that relentless rhythm section. And Sampson's drumming, I think, is particularly solid here. Lino's vocals, incredibly impressive. He's got such a monster set pipes, able to smoothly yet powerfully deliver everything with such range as well. And if you're not familiar with Airforce, or you'll discover if you listen to Acts of Madness, you will probably pick up similarities in Lino's voice between sort of like Rob Halford, Bruce Dickinson, and say Biff Byford as well. I think he's that good. Musically, 10 original songs and a cover of Iron Maiden's Strange World, which is fittingly dedicated to the memory of the late Paul Di'Anno. So what are the songs like? Amongst the Shadows, ripping opener, relentless, punches along, nice tasty solo in there as well. Life Turns to Dust is no back number, that's got plenty behind it also. Then we've got The Fury, during which Doug Sampson's drumming provides the driving force. It's like really strong, chunky stuff. Cursed Moon has the slightly cheesy Wolfhounds as you might expect, but it's a strong, slow burner type of song. And then followed up by Sniper, which spits along very nicely indeed. Lost Forever is the soul sort of ballady type offering that we've got here on Acts of Madness. It's got a nice brooding, atmospheric undertow, and then packs a punch towards the end of it. Westworld up next. Yul Brynner's on the Loose, if you remember the old Westworld film. From, what was that, 70s was it? Flipping heck, I am old. But seriously though, it's a crackerjack of a song. It's got a huge riff, plenty of power going on from the whole band. It's probably the best song on the album. What's next? Heroes. This has Lino's soaring vocals front and centre. Another glorious solo from Chop. Then we've got a bit of a surprise with an instrumental called Obliterated, which is quite a rip snorter. You know, some bands chuck in an instrumental just to fill out a few minutes, don't they? But not here. This is strong stuff. And then the fittingly dark and moody Hacksaw Ridge shuts down the original, the 10 original songs here in fine style. Then we've got Airforce's take on Maiden's Strange World. Throughout this album, with Acts of Madness, just like Strike Hard before it, Airforce have delivered a most fine album of consistently strong, punchy and concise, fresh sounding heaviness whilst retaining the new wave of British heavy metal roots. I think it's a thoroughly enjoyable album from start to finish, There's no mucking about here. It just delivers and continues to deliver the more you listen to it. I think it's excellent album. Usual formats available, physical and digital. I'll drop links below in the description to both so you can check out your preferred format. But please do, because Airforce have got another very strong album here. It's excellent stuff. If I can ask as well, if you wouldn't mind, if you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel before you go, because that would be a big help indeed. And as always, thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and take care.